Hello, friends. Welcome to another Genshin Saturday. I've literally been listening to these two argue about, like, just only, like, the beginning of what they're saying for, I think, like, 5 minutes now. And it's literally just, your perspective is just tunnel visioning. Oh.
Is just tunnel visioning.
And then, cart before, something cart before the horse. This guy talked more. I was like, well, your perspective is just tunnel visioning. Like, I can get it.
Your theory is just putting the cart before the horse.
Like, man. I'm sorry for that you two are arguing, but hey, just, like, step back. It's not, whatever you guys are talking about, I'm sure it's not that bad. Anyways, we got more important things to worry about. So, oh, what's up here? Okay, so last time, before my break and everything, we killed a god, effectively. So, we're gonna go see the consequences of those actions by... Oh, this is the sanctuary. Hold up. So this is, Oh, I forgot my train of thought. Let's go.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's
Oh no, the argument spread here.
Understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, your perspective is just tunnel visioning.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatarasuna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
I also have cookies.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me. So all
Well,
the
too
more
bad you
reason
put
to
your
take my
thinking
advice.
on
It's
the cart before the horse.
dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here's just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to research pretty much anything.
Wait a minute, is this the event that's going on? That would be funny. Yeah, let's go listen in, whatever.
Find out what this Tatarasuna mystery is all about.
This is it, right? This is it. Okay, it is it. I thought it was the event for a second. Because the event does take place in Inazuma.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my
Hello, Cosmic. How
textual
are you doing
criticism
today?
and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Looking for me.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
I can flip you over if you don't believe me.
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
If you don't believe me, I'll go.
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking.
You know, respect.
Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
I'll be honest.
Actually,
Probably
we don't
no.
know much about that place either. In fact, We only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
Ah, I see.
Sorry I can't help this time. Unless it's that one place that's still shrouded in fog that I really should look around, but I have not.
My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
Oh, also, Cosmic, that's good. I'm doing okay, thank you.
If you don't mind,
I'm glad you're doing good.
I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive or a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Please don't be
Let
big.
me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows.
Imagine if this whole thing is just false, though.
Apart from the sword maker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
Are they talking about Scaramouche?
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabukimono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens?
Yo, based.
Seems kind of fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly.
There, I finished
So
my
I
tea
helped
now.
out
Now
too.
no more
I
distractions.
asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow, did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out.
Yeah, but we have very horrible we have very sensitive ears. If you yell, you're gonna destroy our hearing, and you don't want to make us deaf, do you?
It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact,
This guy wants to
live
make us
in
deaf.
Inazuma
I can't
over
believe it.
400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Could it be?
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
We'll say Ishinar because we know someone who is part of that clan.
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art.
All right.
Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
Oh, it's him. Okay, yeah, it's Scaramouche.
Kaidahara clan?
It's Scaramouche.
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Still waiting for you to play Scary if you don't do it. Well, you could always watch my previous video on like when I did stream Phasmophobia, if that's good enough. Anyways, there's
Yes,
more.
Of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabukimono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
The Shogun puppet that the Electro Archon made should be ruling Inazuma with her as we speak. It couldn't be her. The Kabukimono has to be the Balladeer. But what was he doing 400 years ago in Tatara... I could do this, chat. Tatarasuna. Tatarasuna. There we go. I did it.
Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
she keeps her mouth shut.
No. Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
Read my book. Oh, no. I was scared for this. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Author, Sawada. Extract 1. Yes, I'm reading all of this. I have water, don't worry, guys. A man arrived at I can do this. A man arrived in Tatarasuna around 3 in the afternoon. From afar, he spied laborers walking along the mountain roads toward the factories, their shoes scuffing along the juttering stones. They walked like people convinced that so long as they reached the 5 rage... Man, I'm allergic to this. They walked like people convinced that so long as they reached the fire raging in the mountain's belly, they might extract from it gems beyond price. Wait, they might... Okay, that works. The mood that the sight inspired was ineffable? Why are you using big word? I mean, I guess this makes sense. We're in Sumeru, or Sumeru. I forgot. That's how they pronounce it. I like Sumeru better. Anyways, beyond mere description for those not present to witness it. The man barked a cheerful greeting and sprinted to join the procession. There, a towering character who stood half a head taller greeted him with a heavy slap on the back, and yet his words were filled with respect. Do my eyes deceive me? Sir Miyazaki. Wow, I actually had it, and then my mind's like, nope, I did it wrong, but I actually was right. Sir Miyazaki, I cannot I cannot think that the return trip here from Inazuma City could have been easy on you. Miyazaki smiled like a young man taking the first steps on their journey, expression relaxed. Why, Katsuragi, Inazuma is the realm of the almighty Shogun. I sailed upon the fastest ships, strode upon the swiftest sea routes. What dangers could I have possibly faced? And what about the good news? There was some. Naturally. The two burst into uproarious laughter, roughhousing with the other workers until the path's end. A young man dressed in a linen shirt and wearing a headscarf gazed into the dancing flames of the furnace before him. Now the flames of a forge are unlike any other, for their intensity affects the resulting integrity of both metal and blade. So too, then, was the flame watcher an unusual individual. At his fingertips sat a lizard, and on his face he wore a smile. The workshop was huge, and the furnace was deeper within. A reasonable person might think that there should have been many working alongside the Watcher, yet he stood alone. Only when Katsuragi and Miyazaki strode into the room did the Watcher turn. This Watcher was Niwa, armory officer and administrator of Tatsurat. Oh, I had it too. An administrator of Tatarasuna, born to the Niwa clan, which served as one of the 3 pillars of the Ishin art. Niwa never argued with his siblings, and was a worthy successor by all accounts. The post he received as a result of his high standing with those in power served as a statement unto itself. Miyazaki handed a well-bundled text to Niwa. As he adjusted his expression, it said, "It is as you have said, sir. The elders of your clan in the city do not think highly of our plan, yet I still believe it to be worth a try. As such, I have found the proper vendors and procured the materials that you requested." Niwa studied the text and nodded. "We should try some of these new forging techniques, whether Kairehara says yay or nay." Katsuragi frowned, and with a sigh he said, "Forging is a precise and difficult undertaking. You know this better than most, sirs, and still, you seek improvement each day with terrifying drive. Should my lord Nagamasa hear this, the sourness in his face shall be hard to miss." Niwa smiled, replying, "And how goes the forging of your lord's great blade, Katsuragi?" Katsuragi neither wanted to shame his master nor lie to his 2 friends, and yet he could not think of any way to deflect, and so grus. "I see your ears are as keen as your hands, Sir Niwa. The jokes of us unlearned men are as nothing before you." Miyazaki hid his grin. Upon hearing this, Niwa released the lizard from his hand into Katsuragi's palm. But just as more words were to be exchanged, someone came walking nearby, their footsteps light with the celebration of youth. The head that peeked in was round, and in the light of the fires, looked like an oiled jewel. The young man placed some boxed food at the side and nodded. He prepared to leave. Katsuragi called out after him, "What about your share? Aren't you going to eat it?" The young man, upon hearing those words, found himself slightly at a loss. After a while, he answered, "Very well, I'll try it." "You are welcome to the food. We all eat the same fare, after all," Niwa said. The man nodded and left, seemingly deep in thought. And we're halfway through it. Extract 2. The Kabukimono was by the coast. Sunset fell to the accompaniment of darkness. The bands of twilight showed themselves not, for in their place did thunderclouds roil, rumbling the omens of a coming rainstorm. Darkness filled the flesh of the sea, and the dusk bade the clouds to kneel upon the land, its supplication mirroring the Kabukimono, with knees bent and face pointed toward the waters. None passed that way, and none knew what he was waiting for in silence. Time passed, unmeasured and uncounted, till a black cloud suddenly tore free from the sky and began to circle the Kabukimono, bearing down on him like a nightmare. Though he was not aware at first, after his studying gaze was refined by time, he understood. This cloud had marked him from the very start. Outbound, a fishing boat drew near, the lights of its bow flickering in and out of sight beneath falling sheets of rain. A mist unspooled across the area, stealing sight from the fisherman. Repeatedly, he exclaimed, "It is but dusk. How are my eyes darkened? Is there anyone that could deliver my boat upon safe tides?" Like a falling spear, the black cloud reached the bottom of the boat and was joined in its befretness of a direction. Like a charging beast, they plunged into the shoreline. Scant steps away, the Kabukimono stood idle, slanting his head to study the grand wreck. Not but half an arm was left of the man who had cried out for help. Oh, and with a plop, it landed at the Kabukimono's feet. He crouched to better study the object, straining against the urge to take a bite out of it. Yet he did not, for the dark cloud swirling down had already picked the remnants of the ship clean. The Kabukimono stared at it blankly, like an awakening dreamer. When he returned to himself, the clouds had scattered, as if they had never been there at all. As for the ship, could it have been struck down by a storm? Who was to know? Not the Kabukimono. Extract 3! Katsuragi rushed to the doorway and shouted, "My lord, things go ill at the furnace. I have searched for Sir Niwa, but there is no trace of him, and much time has passed since Sir Miyazaki left to seek aid, but he has yet to send us any missive. Look!" Mikoshi Nagamasa turned slowly, his face grave as one attending a funeral. He spoke then, his words heavy-laden. "I wish not to say such words, Katsuragi, but Sir Miyazaki may never return." Katsuragi peered past Nagamasa's broad, stiff shoulders beyond the windows. The clouds above boiled in waves of black, as if darkness now was the only weather. It might even morph into an abysmal beast and devour Tatarasuna whole. This word always gets me to stop, man. Over 10 people had already perished. That was why. Why? Katsuragi recoiled as if struck. Yes, it was coming back to him now, in dribs and drabs. That was why they had to set out to seek aid. Miyazaki had been the first to set sail. The clouds had only just begun to form. Traveling from Tatarasuna to Inazuma to ask for support was normally no great feat, and yet there had been no sign of his return. Then a second ship was sent, followed by a third, and a fourth. Till the Kabukimono himself had departed upon the tides, under foul skies and ominous fortunes. It had been Katsuragi who had brought him back and treated him as his own. It had pained him greatly to see the lad go. Yet the situation in Tatarasuna was severe. Even should they sacrifice more lives, it would have been worth it to gain assistance from Inazuma City. Niwa was gone, and none could find him. Afterward, Nagamasa led a search party into the mountains and the area around the furnace, all to no avail. Folk began to wonder if Niwa might have encountered an accident, but worry soon turned into suspicion, and they wondered if he had fled unwilling to bear the sin of having caused these accidents. The people grew ever more suspicious, and Nagamasa himself strained against his discontent and fury. His face had grown to resemble the rumbling clouds above. Suddenly, a figure flashed by. Their presence did not go unnoticed by Nagamasa. He drew his blade and cut, though he only nicked the silken veil of the intruder wore. For a moment, they swayed, and then, like a marionette pulled by strings, they moved behind Nagamasa, laughing darkly. "Are you seeking someone, my lord? Niwa, perhaps?" Nagamasa bellowed in fury. "You dare address Sir Niwa directly?" Yet, the figure parted like mist before his falling blade, only to rematerialize beyond reach, but not beyond sight. A ghastly apparition indeed. "Was it you who slew my people?" Nagamasa howled and charged, held back only by Katsuragi's desperate grip. As his senses returned to him, he realized he was but an inch away from falling into the furnace. It seems the rest of this work remains unfinished. From the existing text, however, it is apparent that this is a novel of fantastical, colorful sensibilities born from an imagination well utilized. There! It's all done!
Please read my essay draft as well.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Bro! Alright, here we go! Here we go! We go again, boys and girls and non-binary pals. You should definitely be a storyteller. Thank you! Comes with the voice actress package. Please don't do it. Too late. Details. This text belongs to a series of works sponsored by the Vahumana's Veil Cutter Project. It is yet to be numbered. Author, Akoba. Abstract. The Tatsurona area has always been a major pillar of Inazuma's smithing industry. 2 incidents have occurred here, and the details behind the first are vague at best. I believe, however, that there might be a hidden history behind the events that transpired. Hence, this paper will attempt to analyze what may have unfolded from the available data. Great, it's not a story, it's just a research paper. Glossary. Tatarasuna area, Raiden Gokuden, Mikoshi Nagamasa, Kabu Kimono. Great. Introduction. This paper continues and expands the work of my mentor, Mr. Rumi, in his report on the happily hidden tales of Tatarasuna, and is intended to further this avenue of research. According to the data, the blade forging techniques of Inazuma were originally handed down from the Electro Archon, also known as the Raiden Shogun. Using the arts they inherited from their Archon, the people of Inazuma devoted themselves to the process of forging. However, strange rumors that do not quite fit the steely nature of metalwork yet linger about Tatarasuna, which was a central pillar of the forging industry. There, the Mikoshi and Niwa clans, along with an eccentric puppet, serve as the 3 windows of insight we need to investigate the truth behind what happened. Body! Strange notes from the Tatarasuna area. Their contents are as follows. 1. Perhaps I overstepped, but I think that Sir Nagamasa's mood grows better when he forges blades. The obsession to cleanse the stain of the name Mikoshi must eat at him. Also, Sir Katsuragi discovered a nameless eccentric while patrolling around Nazuchi Beach. 2. The inspector brought a certain number of jade steel ingots. Sir Katsuragi discussed matters of smithing deep into the night with the vice armory officer. 3. We at last made a single nagamaki, and we call it the Daitatara Nagamasa. The inspector was in high spirits, and he and the vice armory officer, Nozumu, was so... Alright, can I voice now that there's the thing that's out of my throat was stuck in my throat? Yeah, believe it or not, I did all of this voicing with something stuck in my throat. And it's still kind of not out, but we're gonna live with it. Alright. And Daya Tatara Nagamasa that he drew up. Oh, wait, no. Okay. Nozomu was so taken by the beauty of the Dayatatara Nagamasa that he drew a picture of it, and he performed a sword dance with that wandering eccentric. 4. And we could not find that eccentric. The inspector flew into a rage and slashed Katsuragi. The great blade cut deep into the flesh, cast his own Nagamaki into the furnace's flame. Nozomu could not abide by that order and drew the completely melted weapon out of the furnace. He was horribly burned. 5. Nozomu died that night. I dare say that while Sir Katsuragi may have committed malfeasance, it was out of the goodness of his heart. 6. Kinjiro hid the Nagamaki and Nozumu's drawing in the arsenal. Nagamasa is harsh, but also knows right from wrong. But even so, he is not amenable to reason. His name indicates one obsessed with purity. Still, I and some households of Tatarasuna have not been blinded by the matter of Nagamasa's mother Chiyo, and we trust him. I also maintain unwilling to forget the joy of creating the Dayatatara Nagamasa with him, and that joy of watching that nameless eccentric perform that sword dance with Katsuragi. 7. Before we withdrew, we should have divided the arsenal key into 3 parts. 1 for the inspector, 1 for the armory officer, and 1 to be left in Tatarasuna itself to prevent theft. But we were in too much of a hurry, and neither the inspector nor the armory officer could be found. So I was so bold as to hide the 3 pieces within treasure chests in Tatarasuna. The 7 notes mentioned prior have been scattered across the Tatsurasuna area. Among the 7 notes, 6 seem to be of good physical integrity, although they all look quite old, while the last one looks more recent. I believe that the first 6 notes and the last are of different time periods, though the gulf in years between them needs to be verified. The contents of the first 6 should also be related to each other, as the incidents mentioned are quite consistent with one another. Rumi once mentioned in Happily Hidden Tales of Tatsurasuna, hereafter known as Hidden Tales, that in the past, researchers from Sumeru had investigated the cultural histories of Tatsurasuna and Inazuma. Though the place has fallen into some degree of disrepair since the Hidden Tales were written, things have improved since the time when I wrote my original article. Regardless, what used to be an area of major industry remains a place most inhospitable, and residents of Tatsurasuna may be found living and dwelling by the waters. The residents, when questioned, told the researchers of Tatsurasuna's golden age centuries ago, when it was administered by Armory Officer Niwa, Vice Armory Officer Miyazaki, and Inspector Mikoshi Nagamasa, yet the elders among the locals with deeper ties to the region who seemed to stress the fact there were strange rumors surrounding their homeland's past. A great many of these rumors revolved around the yokai, who are so very characteristic of Inazuma's folk histories. A small portion, however, repeatedly mentions the word puppet. It should be known that the puppets are neither traditional nor common yokai in Inazuma. This fact drew the attention of the researchers to delve further, and eventually the following pieces of information came to light. A puppet did once appear in Tatsurasuna. Its visage was elegant, its apparel impeccable, and the way it dressed hid all the joint lines on its body. If no one were to mention that it was indeed a puppet, it would be hard to tell at all. Additionally, this puppet seemed to possess special joint lines that would fade with time, potentially even disappearing altogether, which would perhaps eventually make the puppet seem entirely human. The name of the puppet was known to almost none. Some folk claim to have spotted it around Tatsurasuna, while others mentioned encountering it in the central regions of the area. Some even claim that it would frequent the beach. Tales spread of it standing beside the sea and gazing across the waters toward Inazuma City. What it was that the puppet was gazing at remains a mystery. As mentioned earlier, the 6 notes all document a certain nameless eccentric. The eccentric, which can be read as Kabukimono, is usually used in Inazuma to refer to a figure who dresses or behaves in a peculiar manner. It is understandable, therefore, why this character would have left such an impression. Should the people of Tatsurasuna indeed have had a puppet in their midst incurring mass panic, a good possibility considering the coexistence between yokai and humans in Inazuma at large, then the puppet would have very likely become a local resident. What is less well known is if the Kabukimono was just another title for this puppet, perhaps because it was uniquely dressed to distract attention from its more special characteristics. A workable theory, but one that still lacks enough evidence to support it. Still, it can be retained as an analytical lens of sorts. A list of individuals related to Tatsurasuna has been compiled here based on historical documents from Inazuma. Starting from the administrators, the records are as follows. Armory Officer, Niwa. Full name, Niwa Hisha... What? Full name, Niwa No, that's right. Niwa Nisahide. Wait. Hisahide. Oh, yeah. Hisahide. Niwa Hisahide. He was the inheritor of Ishin art and successor to the Niwa clan. His family, along with the Akame and Kaedehara clans, were together known as the Ishin Sensaku. Records show that Niwa was a modest and intelligent individual who displayed remarkable talent in the administration of territory and people. His eventual whereabouts are unknown, but he was suspected to have left Tatarasuna with his family following the incident. Is it over yet? No. Vice Armory Miyazaki. Full name, Miyazaki Kanio. He was Niwa's second in command. His origins are unknown, and he primarily assisted Niwa in forging and personal management. He was of a affable temperament and had many friends in the region, including one Mikoshi Nagamasa. Inspector Mikoshi Nagamasa, the successor of the Mikoshi clan, adopted son to Oni warrior Mikoshi Chiyo, and the younger adopted brother to Mikoshi Michihiro, also known as Iwakura the successor. With his mother missing and abandoned by his brother, Nagamasa alone bore the family name, striving daily to wipe the shame from their history. Though records state that Mikoshi Nagamasa was a stubborn figure, he was also noted to be a person of moral virtue and integrity. It has been noted in various records that he practiced forging swords for self-cultivation and specifically requested special instruction from Miyazaki to further his capabilities. However, after the famous blade, Dayatatara Nagamasa was forged, he used it to slay his subordinate Katsuragi for reasons unknown at present. Subordinate Katsuragi. Katsuragi's full name and background remain unknown. Despite all the materials I have sorted through, I have yet to find any more additional personal information regarding him. As one of Mikoshi Nagamasa's subordinates, he was a loyal warrior who had been saved by Nagamasa in his youth. From then on, he swore to stick by his lord through thick and thin to give his life in service, if it was but asked of him. Kabukimono. Full name unknown. Background unknown. From the many sources I have compiled, combined with Rumi's personal observations, this character might have been the puppet mentioned in the rumors. The Kabukimono was a figure of fashionable grace and gentleness. According to the hidden tales, he was brought back to the Tatarasuna by Katsuragi and became a member of the community. When the Kabukimono first arrived in Tatarasuna, he knew nothing of cleaning, cooking, or any work of meticulous nature. The locals taught him their skills over time, showing him how to clean his attire, dance, and craft small trinkets. Records state that the Kabukimono was there when the Dayatatara Nagamasa was forged. Though his trail ends before Mikoshi Nagamasa slew Katsuragi, I believe that the Kabukimono was indeed the aforementioned puppet, that he quite likely had a hand in Katsuragi's death. It seems that the rest of this paper remains unfinished. One thing for sure, though, a lot of thought was put onto it. No kidding. But we're already like at the 30-minute mark, and all we did was read 2 long reports. One was a story, and the other was a report. Jeez. Okay, are you gonna give me another one?
Was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but
you gonna give me another one? Please give me another one.
Grounded in facts.
I want one that's like 5 pages long.
Away with mysterious forces will cut it.
Nah, give me another. Give me another.
Ooh,
no, you're finally done. Great. I didn't want to read it anyway.
With political intrigue, like I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Anyways, hello back here. How are you doing today? I'm doing okay, thank you. How about you? How are you doing today?
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Yes, that's more like a novel.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get.
Good, alright, don't give me another essay like, oh, that was the rough draft I was saying. Here's my final paper that I intend to submit to, like, the academy, and it's like 10 page, no, it's usually probably be like 20 pages long. Just give me that.
Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
I'll leave you to it.
have some other
Please.
stuff to do, so
We're gonna
we'll
go.
have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Also, could I please contact you if I ever need someone to look over my eventually like 30-page paper? No, thank you. Goodbye.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it?
She don't want a 5 pages reading. She wants an entire book. Oh, back here. You right. I want an entire book novel that is 300 pages long, and I would be entertained. If I'm not entertained through that whole story, it's garbage. It doesn't have to be factually correct. It just needs to entertain me and only me. Because as long as I'm entertained, everyone's entertained.
Okay.
That is
then
such a lie.
Even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like
And
that
the
is
sequel.
usually super confidential, isn't it?
The sequel and the prelude too. The prequel too.
If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
What's wrong?
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
And then listen to the movies. Yeah, you guys are right. Maggie, you're right.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I want to tell you this. Yes, 40 minutes later. I want to show you guys something. So, yeah, as you guys know, this was the team that I've used to, like, got this whole series, right? Well, I don't know if I'll do it yet because I'm not too confident in this yet. But I'm preparing another team.
Need to end a few enemies?
I'm actually going to use other characters. And actually from other locations. 1 Liyue, 2 Inazuma. I mean, technically, Kazuha is Inazuma, even though we got him still Liyue. And, Sumeru. So, yeah. I mean, maybe I'll use it. Maybe I'll use them. They're not, like, fantastic. Their builds aren't good, especially not their artifacts. I'm trying to just ascend them all right now, which I just need, to collect Nahida's... I just need to do Dendro Hypostasis. As well as doing, the Enkonomiya boss one more time for Yamiko at the moment. Anyways, hello, Nahida. After that, the comics. I hope it's a good comic. It's not gonna be.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are.
Nahida, are you gonna give me an essay to read too?
Traveler, I'm so good you're here. I wanna go through like laws and politics here in Sumeru. Do you think you could read this 100-page analysis on it, and then afterwards you can go over the laws and everything?
No, Nahida, I just read like 2 essays, please.
Oh, so you want more?
Okay.
Bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough. You're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up?
Oh yeah, and Traveler, I want you to give me like a essay review on how it was. I kind of want it to be maybe minimum 100 pages if you can.
But that's longer than your thing.
Well, in combination, not really. Oh, right. Actually, it is fair because I tend to give you a 200-page thing to read.
What even is it?
Just something I wrote up. It's a little story I made up, and I want your opinions on it.
I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me.
I mean, I have to say, if it's gonna go what I think it is, Nahida's actually, like, just that much of a respectable Archon, because the balladeer could have been a huge danger to, like, the entirety of, Tevat. But Nahida's gonna put it aside because I'm pretty sure that she kind of knows the situation from him. So, like, she's willing to give him another chance.
A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
To make yourself a new trilogy.
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Bro, that's facts.
Flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Scaramouche is one of the I feel it's the embodiment of that like meme being like, I should have left you at that curb where you stood. I should have left you at that curb or whatever. And Scaramouche, but you didn't. But you didn't.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
Paimon, as you can remember, I can literally trap anyone into a dream cycle and I can know everything about them. I think I'm fine.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
I straight up. Yeah, Nahida's probably like one of the best Archons we got. Anyway, I gotta go now. Gotta party. It's okay back here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful time at your party and everything. Make sure to enjoy the sweets that you got, whatever your time zone is. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
So he tossed you out like trash.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
Really? What a crying shame.
Well, if the Fatui are
Bro,
gonna
like she's being
reevaluate
so
my
mean to
utility,
him.
I need to have a backup plan for myself.
Like what a that's like using to like insult someone. Like, don't kick him while he's down. Like, sheesh. Put some trust in Nahida.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Paimon, Nahida's smarter than you.
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this? Yes.
Straight up. No hesitation. Yes.
I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit.
For me?
Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Oh yeah, that's right. That little dialogue that Paimon said, it was about like we're still very confused on everything. How about we go to Nahida again for her to elaborate? It's literally the opening.
You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twins' details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
What if he lies to you?
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him. He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him.
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all.
It's literally your sibling.
Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Thank you, Nahida.
It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Bruh. Because she's actually trying.
About this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I mean, granted, the previous three, I don't think Raiden was there, because that was her sister. And Zhongli and Venti, who were definitely there, like, they had some sort of agreement, like, they cannot tell you. Like, Zhongli definitely can. And Venti, I think in Venti's idea, it's like, maybe you just need to learn more before he can really tell you anything. Granted, we didn't really get anything with Venti's answer. We didn't really confront him or talk to him about it either. It's really just Zhongli, and it was just, yeah, he can't say anything because he's under a contract to not say anything. We don't know who this contract is from or anything. He just can't tell us anything.
I was going to contact
But he's still
you about
cheering
that,
for us.
But then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection.
But, like, you know, with Zhongli, it's just, like, I guess in the mind, like, unlike Nahida, maybe he could have just tried to find a workaround. But then again, he is the Archon of contracts, so I don't know. If there was a loophole, I'm pretty sure he could take it, but he won't.
In fact,
He'll honor the contract through and
I was going
through.
to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
I'm glad to be able to help.
Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Okay.
Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because
It
Sumeru's
is.
at peace now.
It is. It used to be like red, but now it's like all nice and glowy. What if I just fall?
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Nahida sent me to babysit you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous.
I mean, like, Skirmish has a point. Like, come on, don't kick him while he's down. Like, he already basically lost everything. You don't have to be like, oh, but we can't trust him because once an evil guy, always an evil guy. Like, come on. Just, I don't know. I get it. I get it because, like, obviously he was a villain, but it's clear the Fatui don't care about him anymore. He literally has nowhere to go.
I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Understood.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
I mean...
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going.
Oh, there's police sirens. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's just police sirens. That's close. I even saw the lights. I hope everyone's okay.
Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
There's no need for all the biting sarcasm.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
And besides, like, he makes a good, like, he kind of made a point of, he'll be at the front. So not only, you know, you could, like, and keep your pretty eyes open so that you can just watch him to make sure he doesn't do anything. That's smart of him, at least. Because he knows he's distrusted between you, maybe a little bit Nahida, but, like, Nahida's willing to, like, put that aside to give him a chance, at least in my eyes. Anyways, it's different from what I imagined.
Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so, say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Wee! What are you doing? Alright.
These sapling things have spread out.
The fragments have dissipated. The space seems
Those
to...
are all
what?
packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
The location's changed. Looks like we've been transported to another path. Yo, can I touch it? Oh, he okay, I can't go ahead of him.
It looks the same in every direction.
Space is indeed unusual, but it seems the Balladeer's more used to it than I.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth.
Bruh, Paimon.
Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
Bruh.
We're here.
What a huge tree!
This is the center of Irminsul. All the information in the world is flowing through it.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
He hasn't put up any resistance, and he seems good at working on the front line. Maybe he had a similar role in the Fatui? First Aquaba and Sawada's stories. Now this. What a strange individual.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Yeah, let's talk! Nahida, is this a telepathic conversation?
Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
I'm guessing that you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
Straight up! Yeah, let's talk like friends and let's gossip about the Balladeer. Yes, and he seems to excel at doing odd jobs for others.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Is it about his past? The betrayals? And the other events in Inazuma?
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
Actually, I caught a glimpse of a few things when I ran into Hypatia and at Pardistia? You relate what you saw in the Balladeer's mind while in Parastia.
You made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Bruh! Paimon, yes!
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Paimon, she has access to literally the entire world's information. I think she knows. You tell Nahida about the story Aquaba and Sawada are writing.
Oh?
Literally all 2 pages.
Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
Aww.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
I hear you.
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
You have every right to keep certain things confidential.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait, how did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you.
Every conversation with you is hard work. Your attitude is better than I thought.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is
Ooh,
worth the risk?
his past.
We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
That name. Niwa was the man in charge of Tatarasuna. Plus, he belongs to the lineage of Ishinard. Oh. Whoa! Colors.
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have purpose. They are, as I understand,
they're motivated.
the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown. All passing on their legacy.
So, I think we're in Niwa. But I don't remember the characters.
Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose.
Alright, so we're
between
Niwa,
steel
which
and
is like the
blade.
brown hair guy.
That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's
Wait,
no
I think
way
it's
he could have
Katsuragi.
revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset,
Who?
I saw much that was
Who is
commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great
Bro,
honor
I
to
read
befriend
two
you all.
things, and I didn't see this name at all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
Oh.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Oh, the drama. The drama.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem.
Didn't you just say that his technology has caused it all? Why do you need it again?
I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Well, I don't.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
He's dead.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
Bruh.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
It's the doctor!
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
Drama.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
Just a minor. Maybe the world in danger. It's funny.
That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead.
Bro, oh, this is messed
What other
up.
reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove.
He's not gonna say anything, dude.
Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa, already dead. What a pity.
Yeah, really bloodless death. Bruh!
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was.
Jester.
I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
So this is Skirmish?
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore? Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
I'm afraid so. He was the one behind the Tatarasuna incident.
Why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
This betrayal was a lie that he has believed for hundreds of years. Was this part of the doctor's experiment? If the betrayal never happened, it existed only in his imagination. But where does this leave him?
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Okay, let's go over there.
You need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the
Wait, don't step there!
So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants.
Bro.
The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Literally. Being betrayed and abandoned by a close friend is sure to cause great resentment. Now we know what was behind his decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokujin 100 years ago. But it doesn't mean that vengeance was the right decision.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dotori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
I'll go on to that. Okay, Cosmic. Well, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night, depending on your time zone. Well, since it's tired, I'm guessing it's night, so I hope you have a good night's rest.
Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
We just want to make sure this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Tevat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Not unexpected, but still. Thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh?
Ah.
About what?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time.
Jester, another Fatui Harbinger. Why?
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
What do you want to know?
Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head?
Are you trying to brainwash me?
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
Bro. Wait. Would you ask that?
Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me.
With the shield. Wait, that look. Did he see me hesitate? But that was because I know about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Uh-oh. I think...
So long.
By not denying immediately... Bro!
You get yourselves out of here quickly.
That went really quick.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Palantir, stop.
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone.
Like, what did you guys expect to happen just by looking through the things?
Can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
You tell Nahida everything that happened.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
I kind of want to see what the Traveler thought before Balladeer, because like that was immediate. Like I only had like read the first sentence. I didn't see what else I said or thought.
Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Okay. We're not gonna do it then. Oh, okay. Sure, we're here now. What is this? I have to do this. Alright, hold up. Gotta do the hangout quest that I guess was like, oh no, hold up 1 second.
Brace yourselves.
I'm so sad.
Sorry to interrupt, everyone. We finally have some real dream experts joining us.
I had to run into you.
Esteemed experts, this way, please. Ahem. Now, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them.
They must be dream experts from another land.
Oh,
Great. Oh, I have a question. Me first. No rush. Everyone please line up and ask in an orderly fashion. After some initial commotion, everyone finally forms a queue. I'm just gonna speed read this for you all.
Wow.
Paimon didn't expect it to be so enthusiastic. My question is simple. My everyday life is very difficult, so I would like to become a slime in my dreams. How can I do that? That's a tough one. Paimon knows. Paimon's had this kind of dream, so she knows a thing or two. The first time Paimon became an animal slime, Paimon was shot by an adventurous arrow and flew in... Okay, fine. Dangerous. A group of kids thought Paimon was a rat, pulled him out of the grass. It was super painful. The third time, Paimon became a cryo slime. In the end, Paimon was captured by a chef and turned into a smoothie. And the fourth time, Paimon became a powerful geo slime and went on to take revenge of the forest boy that used to bully Paimon. But then the boy showed up with all its relatives and Paimon lost again.
Why did all of your dreams end so tragically?
Because slimes are monsters, even though they look cute, they usually cause trouble and end up being killed by adventurers. I want to drop Atlee. She's grasped the standard tropes of adventure stories.
I suppose you're right. They are monsters, after all.
Bruh, not all of them. We were able to capture fungi and use them as Pokemon battles. I'm sure we could use them for slimes too.
Worse than my current life. Maybe I'd be happier if I became just a regular finch or fish.
Looks like being an expert is way easier now.
I'm imagine next.
Oh, it's my turn.
Esteemed expert, I want to know what posture I should sleep in so I can have the same dream as the one I had last night.
Well?
Yes, please enlighten us, esteemed expert, that your title seems to have changed. I mean, your thing changed for some reason. Why don't you tell Paimon about the dream you want to have again?
It's quite ordinary.
I sat and chatted with my wife inside the list of the breeze blowing through the valley.
Find your wife and talk with her. There's no need to wait for a dream.
Okay, I misread that as why don't you just find a new wife and talk with her? And I'm like, Paimon, yo! Wait a minute. Paimon, chill.
Well,
Unfortunately, she passed away. Oh, sorry, Paimon should have assumed anything.
It's
fine. I didn't make that clear. I just wanted to... Have you tried looking at her photos right before you fall asleep? It's not really about posture. What you think about before falling is probably way more important. Is that all I have to do? Think about it. If you're the one talking to her and you're the one that'll be dreaming about her, it'll be easier to connect your dreams with your thoughts. You do have a point. I'll give it a try. Thanks for your wise advice. Oh, my turn. Okay, ahem. I want to know the name of the plant in my dream. I want to bring the souvenir in my box in a dream. I dreamt of
flying over the wasteland last night.
Does that have any kind of special meaning? No rush. One at a time. After a long time, the experts finally concluded their work.
Their questions were way too difficult.
We don't actually know anything more than they. We're just experienced dreamers, that's all.
They do. We're just more experienced dreamers.
They didn't really care about the answers.
You do have a point.
More way to explore and contemplate the meaning of a question and to focus on the answer itself. Right now, these people are like wanderers who Which, yeah, we're trying to do that right now, Paimon!
3 nights and are desperate to replenish their energy.
Any explanation they get now is like pure sustenance, no matter how good an explanation is. Oh, and now that Paimon said it, you know what comes to mind? Nahida. Bringo, if she were here, she'd probably be making some analogy. Unfortunately, she's super busy. We may not have time for gatherings like this.
Dear experts, we have another...
The guests would like to... Just so we all have the catch it, we're not really that... but this guest is try special. It's Nahida.
My question is,
why didn't you immediately tell me about such an interesting place?
Nahida, how did you get here?
Interesting events like a moment of dreams don't happen every day after all. No matter how busy things are, I'd still set aside some time to check it out. Anyway, I really didn't expect to meet you here.
Oh, right! If there's
anyone that understands dreams, it should be you. You should be able to help us answer all the questions. Wrong. Alright, they can ask me anything. The more interesting, the better. They ain't saying anything.
Huh?
What's wrong? You were also excited a minute ago. Why the sudden hesitation?
You were all so excited a minute ago.
I think they need to build up some courage first.
So
it's not like I look super intimidating or anything, right?
Reputation
now. Okay,
You've
fine.
also done many great things in Sumeru, yet they didn't even flinch at you.
Still not quite the same as approaching an Archon.
Alas, the interesting questions have all vanished in an instant. It appears I'm the one spoiling the fun here. I'll see myself out.
Aww.
That's not true, Nahida.
I don't want to get in the way of the original purpose of a moment of dreams, which is to let people gather here and freely share their marvelous dreams. Now the atmosphere here is like water poured into a container. The water is more secure and settled, but it has lost its free-flowing nature from the river. I just want it to be another drop in the water, not the cold and restrictive container.
Is she doing what I think she is?
She's sulking. Hey! It's alright! to be shy. The Dendro Archon is really nice, so please just go ahead and ask. Otherwise, she'll leave.
All right. I'll give it a try.
Oh, it's the slime guy.
Hey, drop the nicknames, would you? Besides, I don't want to become a slime anymore. Maybe a finch or fish is more suitable for me.
I see. So you want to become a small animal in your dreams, right? Why do you think that sounds good to you?
I guess I just want to experience something different. My everyday life is nothing but the same. The sky is right above me, and the ocean just over the horizon, yet I remain caged in a life of monotony.
So you want to experience something new in your dreams? Sorry, I'm getting a little confused. Why don't you seek out some new experiences in real life?
Because if I don't work, I won't have any Mora. Sure, I don't want to be out hammering nails and cutting wood every day, but I have aging parents and young children to take care of.
Man, he just said the problem with society right here.
By the time this all dawned on me, I realized that my life has already been filled to the brim by trifling matters, and I have no more freedom.
But if that's the case, then even if you became a flying bird or swimming fish, you will still be hammering nails and cutting wood in your dreams. The reason is you've already been caged. It doesn't matter what your physical body turns into. Your mind will still be stuck in the same predicament.
Really? That sounds pretty terrible. Then what should I do?
Try other things. Abandon your family and kids.
But how about replacing your hammer?
Huh? Replacing my hammer?
That's right. Having worked for such a long time, you of all people must know what makes a good hammer.
Well, of course. A good hammer needs to be heavy enough to drive the nail in with just a couple taps. And the handle has to have a good grip to it, not too smooth. Come to think of it, I haven't replaced my current hammer in quite some time.
You should replace it. Then decorate the handle with something you like. Maybe some ornaments, fur, or hard leather wrapping. Then, write the names of your children on it.
That makes sense. I think it'd give me a good boost of energy at work.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's a solution, because at the end of the day, you'd want to have motivation. But I get what Ada's trying to say. He feels trapped in his work, but he has to keep working in order for his parents, but he wants to have new experiences.
A new sense of adventure often begins with the little things in life.
Alright, I guess that makes sense.
You don't need to become a bird in the air or a fish in the sea. You only need to do your best in life, and all those things you cherish will become your source of happiness.
Yes, I get it now. This is a real eye-opener for me.
I mean, or you could just take a quick vacation, too.
I'll go and pick out a new hammer right away. No, I should make one of my own. Thank you, Great Dendro Archon.
That's our Nahida. Only you would know how to get right to the heart of the problem.
Actually, I didn't really understand the problem.
Huh?
I gave him that advice because I once saw a worker doing the same thing. Whenever he became tired, he would look at some names on the handle of his tool. After a moment, he'd start to smile. It really surprised me at the time. My guess is that the names on the handle were of important people to him.
I think I understand.
After observation, I know this kind of behavior motivates people. But why is that? Is it because of excitement, anticipation, or helplessness? I really don't know. And even if I could know what's going through his mind, it's still difficult to fully grasp his feelings.
Oh, Paimon gets what you mean. Huh. Paimon had no idea it takes you so much effort to understand these kinds of things.
That's why I was a bit nervous just now. But luckily, seeing his happy face in the end reassured me that I didn't say anything wrong.
I mean, you on one hand you didn't. It's just, you know, doesn't really get rid of the arching problem.
Don't mind me though. This is just my way of learning.
I'm happy to help if you ever need it.
Hey, don't forget about Paimon. Everyone knows that Paimon's also super skilled at reading people's feelings.
Sure.
Thanks, you two. That makes me feel a lot better. Let's move on to the next question, shall we?
Oh, it's a lot.
I already asked the experts my question earlier, but I wanted to hear the Dendro Archon's response too. What should I do if I want to see my deceased wife in my dreams every night?
Longing for the deceased.
Is she remembering something about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? No, she shouldn't be able to remember anymore.
Even if you keep reliving those beautiful memories, it'll only highlight the emptiness in your real life. If your wife were still alive, she certainly wouldn't want to see you like this, would she?
No, I suppose not. But our time together in my dreams is not just reliving our past together. I don't know. Maybe it's because I miss her too much. But it's really as if she had come back to life in my dreams. She even remembers each and every dream. After I wake up and then continue dreaming again later, we can pick up our conversation right where we last left off.
That's really amazing. Statistically speaking, continuous dreams are extremely rare.
It's almost as if my wife has obtained a second life in my dreams. But the more vivid she appears, the emptier I feel, and the more painful it is when I wake up. I don't know whether to call it a blessing or a curse.
Well, you don't look good.
Maybe all of this is rooted in your deep longing for her. Were there any unresolved matters or regrets between the two of you?
I don't know. I suppose my biggest regret is that I couldn't spend the rest of my life with her. I really felt like I was ready to move on. I wouldn't be so hesitant now if it weren't for these hyper-realistic dreams I've been having.
Huh. You know, they say that whatever's on your mind is what goes into your dreams.
But dreams are, and will forever be, just dreams. We are people living in the real world. It's not good to be overly obsessed with dreams. All it'll do is fill up your mind and eat away at your thoughts.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm also a little disappointed in myself. I still need to take care of our child. And it's probably not good to let her see me in such a state. Anyway, thanks for your advice, Great Dendro Archon.
Yeah, her thing was basically say move on.
I'm a little worried about him. I hope he can find a way to cheer up soon.
I mean, that's hard. That's just hard.
I think I can handle things from here. You don't need to stay here if you find it boring. You're here to have a good time after all.
Well, it's not really like good time. It's like we were in the middle of this very important story, and you decided to just decide, I'm gonna take a break from that. I'm gonna talk about dreams.
Another recurring dream?
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if it's some kind of hint.
I wish my dreams could be a little more practical.
You know, maybe something like the rich and famous overnight. I'm just gonna read them. Oh, wait, that was the next part.
Are you feeling any...
Yes.
Better now? Yes, I think that Dendro made a really good point. I need to stop dwelling on my life like this and move on with my life. Now I think about it, my wife and I always met at a familiar place in my dreams. I know what place... Okay.
But
a bit far too dangerous. I don't dare go on my own. But at the same time, it feels as if I should go and take a look anyway. Perhaps I should be able to move on once I see that there's nothing there. Sounds like a good plan. I also keep feeling like everything is covered in a daze, like I'm only half awake. Once I can stop dreaming about that place, I'll probably be able to get my life back together. Actually, you two are adventurers, right? Is it okay? Could I you escort me to that place? So let's have a look. Might be a good chance to unwind. Even if you can't see your wife there, taking in some nice scenery will definitely help you cheer. Yeah, I hope so too. Alright, let's go and get yourself ready. Speaking of longing for the disease, I'd better tell Nahida about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Nahida should at least know that she once existed in this world. Without telling me again? Wait, aren't you supposed to be answering questions? I just finished, and I really got a lot out of it. So many interesting and novel thoughts. I mean, it didn't look like it. It looks like you're... Why don't you take me with you?
There's no need to trouble you, Great Dendro Archon.
I imagine you must have very important things to deal with. No need to stand at ceremony. Besides, I wouldn't have come to ask to come along if I didn't have a good reason. I want to see this opportunity to discuss what's some things that are puzzling me right now. I didn't know that could become puzzled too. I'm not all that different from you, you know. Alright, let's go. We can talk on the way. I better go with her. The whole Greater Lord Rukkhadevata thing will take some explaining. Do I seriously have to do... Please. Oh, good. Good. I can stop. Please. Let me do this quest.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Let me do the Archon quest because... We'll do Nahida's another time, even though I still even need to do Sino. And I guess Nilu too. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I think I did Nilu already. When the theater was closing.
An inn or something? This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you.
No, I want to help you.
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Paimon doesn't remember Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, and the Balladeer's question was a strange one. It's hard to explain in full, and the truth might be very distressing for Paimon. I'll skip the part about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata for now, and focus on the Balladeer. You tell Paimon what the Balladeer asked you, and what he might be planning.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible!
It's not easy, that's for sure.
You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it.
Yeah, great example.
So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Paimon's so confused.
Maybe he wants to erase himself from history. Paimon, are you okay?
Sorry. Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But...
Bro, why are you blaming him?
History? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul?
Not necessarily, but maybe. I'm just guessing here.
Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
Indeed. If the Balladeer does erase himself from Irminsul, many people in Inazuma will be affected. I can't imagine what that situation would look like. Worst case scenario, it will affect everyone with a connection to the Raiden Gokuden. Kazuha, Ayaka, Ayato. Will this mean that they'll disappear?
There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried.
I'm sorry for coughing.
Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight.
Me neither.
So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers.
Okay. Tea bread pancakes, cream stew, sauteed matsuke. Huge chili chicken, almond, tofu, satisfying salad. Golden shrimp balls, triple layered. Okay, consomme. There you go, you're going to sleep. Paimon? What's wrong?
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about.
Ooh.
What was it again?
You were getting so worried about the situation with the balladeer that you started listing foods. The He erased himself!
Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though.
Paimon doesn't remember the balladeer? Must mean he actually pulled it off? But how did he have that ability? That doesn't make it sense.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
No, it's nothing.
So, the balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
If this is really happening, I need to know what else has changed. Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
I want to go back to Inazuma.
Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Now's not the time to explain. Let's get over there first. I swear, if it's gonna be something like, oh, this character's not available for this quest. Well, luckily that's not the case. So, yeah, Balladeer just erased himself. That's awesome. It's either gonna be that, or probably gonna maybe be along the lines of, whatchamacallit. It's either gonna be that, or it's gonna be along the lines of, he just changed the fact he didn't, like something with Niwa or whatever, I don't know.
It's been a while.
Pardon me, I'd like to ask a question if I may.
Of course. Go ahead.
About the Raiden Gokugen, could you tell me that story one more time?
Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokugen, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions.
You know, this is funny because I don't even know the original story.
Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive.
Wait, no longer Ishin?
But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
And I still have it.
Oh, yeah, we were. Paimon remembers that now.
Yeah, we have it.
We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
What was the reason behind the decline?
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives. Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphan son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Legend of the Raiden Gokuden has changed. Someone else attacked the swordsmiths. Looks like the balladeer did something in Irminsul, but it seems Niwa still died.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Have you seen Kazuo recently?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea.
Oh, he seemed well. So he still exists. And he's the same Kazuha I know. Things don't seem as bad as I feared last night. That's all. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you.
So, yeah, I think she's more oh, why test of courage? Where is it? Bro, that's the event? Bro! Yeah, we were gonna go to the, Kamisato clan just to make sure Ayako and Yato are okay. Alright, time for us to... No wonder, okay. Hello, Ayato. I guess you're okay, but this is breaking off of the story, so long time no see.
Ah, it's you two. Yes, it has been a while.
We heard the Yashiro Commission is holding a test of courage, so we came right over to sign ourselves up.
I mean, not really. We kind of came here because I wanted to make sure you still existed, but we're gonna ignore that fact.
We didn't expect to see you here in person, though. Does that mean this event is really important?
I gotta say, I really don't like how... I mean, I get why they do this, but I don't like how they do this.
You think I only make an appearance for occasions that are deemed sufficiently important? It just so happens that this test of courage event was actually my suggestion. But naturally, I've left the planning and more trifling details to be arranged by my retainers. Considering that such events are quite popular across Teyvat, I've had numerous examples to draw from, so everything should be in good order. I'm merely here to do a routine check on the progress of the event, that's all.
Oh, Paimon gets it! So what you're saying is you're not very busy right now. In that case, maybe you can give us a quick rundown of the event rules.
Only Paimon could be so natural at ordering others around.
Don't you remember your place, peasant?
However, the possibility remains that we may yet require your assistance.
Sorry, what did you say?
Nothing. Seeing as I apparently have some time, I suppose we may chat about the event for a moment.
Thanks, Ayato.
As its name implies, the event is a game designed to put one's courage to the test. The venue for the event will be set up in the Chinju Forest. Before the start of each round, participants will be divided into teams of 2. Once teams have been formed, the event staff will announce the name of an item that has been placed in or around the Chinju Forest area. The first person to locate the specified item will be declared the winner of that round.
The winner of that round? Huh. So there's gonna be multiple rounds to the test of courage?
That's fair.
Precisely. There will be a total of 3 rounds in the test of courage because the event was actually orchestrated by 3 different parties. Merchants raised event funding, the Kamisato clan provided the grounds, and the Grand Narukami Shrine provided consulting services. As such, each of these 3 parties have selected one item for participants to find. So, naturally, the event will require 3 rounds to determine the winners.
Paimon gets it! So basically, it boils down to searching for stuff in Chinju Forest. We'll need to find 1 item each round for a total of 3 items after 3 rounds. Huh. Simple enough for Paimon.
Yes, seems you've got the gist of it. We will be issuing different rewards based on the number of rounds won. So, if a participant wins multiple rounds, then that will also be reflected in their final reward. If a participant manages to find all 3 items, then they shall receive the grand prize provided by the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Ooh, a grand prize? Sounds like it could be really valuable.
As for its true value, I'm afraid you'll have to win the event first and ask Lady Guji yourself. Of course, this event is intended to measure your courage. If you withdraw from the event because you become too frightened, then you might as well forget about seeing any rewards.
Okay.
I'm curious myself how many people will be brave enough to make it to the end. It'll be most disappointing if nobody claims the prizes we've prepared.
Well, then it's just gonna be for us, Ayato, because let's be real here. What's scarier than taking down familiars for gods? And gods themselves. Like, come on.
Don't worry, those prizes are as good as ours! Even though just the thought of this event sends shivers down Paimon's little spine. The Traveler will be brave enough, no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's right.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. I look forward to seeing how you perform. Anyway, I think I've given you sufficient details. I'll add your names to the list of participants momentarily. As for the 3 items you'll be searching for, please wait for a staff member to inform you at the start of the event.
Because it'd be cheating.
Oh, and a friendly word of advice. Test of courage events tend to give rise to a variety of strange rumors and stories. So please, be sure to exercise caution.
Whoa, what do you mean by that? Oh, will there be spooky things in Chinju Forest?
He literally just said it'll start stories and rumors. That doesn't mean it is true. He's just pulling your leg.
Paimon thought so too. Well, in that case, there's nothing to be scared of. Anyway, we've got an event to win. Grand prize, here we come!
Yay! And now we're gonna go back to the quest that we were doing before. Right? Okay. Hiya, Ito. Oh, he's so happy.
Hold it right there. Oh, well, if it isn't my compadres. Didn't expect to see you here.
He totally was.
Huh? Paimon knows that voice. It's Ito! What are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're here for the test of courage.
Ha! What else? I'm sorry, but those prizes already belong to yours truly. Arataki ain't scared of nothing, Ito. I mean, well,
what a lie.
That's what I really want to say. But I have actually got something else going on.
Oh? What's that?
It's a long story. As soon as I heard about the test of courage, I got the gang together and was ready to bring everyone for the time of their lives. But it turns out the other members weren't as pumped about the event as me. Chinju Forest? We've already been there 1,000,000 times. There's nothing scary about that place. That event's just a game for kids. What a waste of time. Let's play some genius invocation TCG. Seriously? Test of courage? Ugh, whatever. I guess if that's what the boss wants. Can you believe that? What a group of deadbeats. I'm not gonna put up with that. Nuh-uh, not in my gang.
10 out of 10 performance, Ito.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. Dragging the gang to an event they don't want to go to won't be the best for your reputation as a leader.
Hey, this isn't about me. As leader of the Arataki gang, it's my duty to find new and tantalizing experiences for everyone. A happy gang means a happy life. Even if they can't get it through their stubborn heads now, one way or another, I'll show them how much fun a test of courage can be.
Wow, Ito, you sure do care about your gang members.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
I'm no stranger to Chinju Forest. Sure, it was a little terrifying going through there, but hey, I'm used to it now. It's seriously, what kind of scary pranks could those guys in the Yashiro Commission ever come up with? If they can't scare anyone, then it's not going to be a test of courage, now is it?
And then they call Hu Tao.
Not to mention, if the gang starts complaining, I won't ever be able to show my face around here.
And after all that talk, it still boils down to you.
Ah, well, leading a gang can be complicated, you don't understand. Anywho, I've got a plan. Since there's no way I can trust the Yashiro Commission to make a fun event, I've decided to step in and spice things up a little.
Oh no, with that, oh no.
You don't seriously mean that.
Oh, you bet I do. Yours truly is gonna be out scaring people. I'm taking this event to a whole nother level. But it's gonna take more than an Oni to make it happen. So I came here to recruit some help. And then I saw you come walking along. Come on, come scare people with me, please.
Oh.
No way!
Pretty please?
Forget it!
Pretty please?
You just teleported.
Fine. But don't forget, we're here to win the test of courage and take home the grand prize. We'll help you out, just don't get in the way of our prize.
Yes! You're a real Oni saver. Hey, don't worry, with me around, winning the test of courage will be a piece of cake. All right, those participants won't scare themselves. Let's get out there.
What a noisy guy. But after hearing him laugh and talk, Paimon doesn't feel scared anymore. Huh. Maybe laughter is the key to making fear go away. If things get scary later, we can all start laughing at the top of our lungs.
Okay.
Hey, Traveler, Paimon, enough chit-chat. We're gonna miss the event.
Coming!
I need to get to an event that I'm wondering if the whole of history of Inazuma changed or not. I mean, clearly not, but you know, I have to check. Is that, are we, can I go? Can I go? Finally.
We're here! This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while.
Hello, what happened to your voice?
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Thank you. We'll take you up on that offer. Can we take a walk in the courtyard?
If it were
That
anyone
nothing
else,
probably changed?
I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then.
Oh, okay.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say?
I'm dying, Granny. Ma'am, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know?
How are the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato these days?
Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Ayato is still the Yashihiro commissioner. Ayaka is still the lady of the house. No changes there. As far as I can see, nothing's changed in the Yashihiro commission either. I was expecting as much. But it's still a big relief to know that the Kamisato siblings are both safe and well.
Well, got any more questions?
That's all for now. Many thanks.
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often.
But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that.
Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are.
And how much she admires you.
I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since
So you're not just
you
Miss
arrived
Kamisato's
here.
knight shining armor, you know, you're here to all of us.
You're-
I'm flattered.
I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him.
I always find myself on my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. I'm just going faster because I was wasted time by two things.
To take his meals at home.
But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine there.
It's because Toma is a much better chef than most.
Haha, the commissioner is so fine at home
We
comforts.
get to talking about you sometimes too.
Oh, it's a very fond
know.
tone, the way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one could truly be themselves.
Sato occasionally joins them as well.
Whenever the whole family gets together, they start talking about the people they met and experiences they've had. You always get a mention.
It's been many years now since the late
Mr. and Miss Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to watch their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much. In the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashihiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady who will be delighted to have the pleasure of your company. Thank you very much. I will visit.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great. Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again real soon. Ideally around dinner time.
Bruh.
Of course.
Alright, goodbye for now.
I said, I think it says you're welcome.
Where are we going next?
Tatorasuna.
Great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right.
Wait, where is
then.
Tatorasuna?
Take care now.
Where's that?
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh my gosh. What is this now? Where is it? Oh my gosh. Oh wait, was it? Oh, is this one? It was this place. Okay. Now, is it going to be completely different? No, it's not going to be completely different. Why? Because vents. Oh, it's him. You. Finally, at long last, it's done. Fortunately, I remember these specifications. So we're going to purify the Tataragi Gamma energy then? Well, as much as we'd love to get in there and wrap this up, we must not act so rashly when faced with the Tatarigami. Moreover, some required materials I simply could not find, so I had to make do with some last-minute substitutions, the result being the reliability of this device somewhat. Let me just say that in some circumstances, it may not achieve the desired efficiency. It could be, what the heck was that? I don't know what that glitch was. It was probably a petal. It could be used normally just fine, but I doubted I could withstand any accidents. The slightest jolts will likely knock back some plays out of the commodes. As such, we will still require a little more preparation before we can put our new friend here to work. I'd like to go near Mikage Furnace. Mikage Furnace, record some data for me. Consider it done, I guess. Thank you very much. I'll be waiting for you here. And I still have to do it, don't I? Okay. Gonna go... I'll just walk, I guess.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Sorry, chat. I just wanted to get to the story, but I guess I can't. There we go. And then I'm gonna go up here and then go around. Wait. Wait, I gotta go back. I have to go back. Take a picture of the situation at it. Okay, do I have to do this? What? Oh, from below? Oh, okay. Alright then.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go here. Because apparently I gotta go up. And I gotta heal Venti too. So does that mean I just can't read? Obviously. Alright, can I just, I don't know, take a picture like this? Wait. Oh. I'm just dumb. Somewhat clear image. Oh, shush. I probably have to get rid of her.
Here we go.
Freeze. Verdict is
Out of my sight. Let's play.
There. Okay. Now please nothing. Please nothing. I just want to take this picture and go. Oh, bye. Bye, losers.
Oh, oh, we're gonna complete this. Be like, oh, this person has to do all the.
I guess that's what I get for not doing Inazuma. So have you scouted the situation out that I have? Right, let me see. We're in luck, it seems. The Mikage furnace is quite stable, and the energy within it is not yet oversaturated. At this level of concentration, my device will still hold out. Do we need to purify all that energy? If this device could do that, why, I would have applied for a patent long ago. But our fine friend here can only decrease the energy level in a localized area. However, the reason for the deactivation of the Mikage furnace and the failure of even its auto restart program is the high saturation of Tatarigami energy. as long as we find the area with the highest concentration and purify it, we should be able to restart it the core. At that point, the Mikage furnace should restart, and beyond that point, any further issues will not be our concern. That's the plan. Before we execute it, I still have a few final preparations to make. Now, please. 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 No more derailing. No more. Just let me do this Archon quest, please. I want to get this done, please.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something?
Or someone.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Voice is close enough.
Xavier? What are you doing here?
What did you just call him? Xavier? Not Xavier?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So
what about you two?
Some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Do you know much about Tatarasuna?
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth.
As you know.
If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
How well do you understand the history of this area?
Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here.
Go on, I'm listening.
Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation, goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Mechanic, huh? Looks like the doctor still sabotaged the furnace, leading to all the ensuing chaos.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
I am.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today.
Look, I'm your child or
We've
something.
been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
Yeah, pretty much. So can I ask one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of the Kabukimono connected to Tatarasuna?
Kabukimono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a Kabukimono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
So there's no more Kabukimono. Did the balladeer really manage to erase himself from history completely? If so, he must have wanted to change the world and revert everything back to the way it was. But so far, it looks like the majority of changes have only affected himself. I'm gonna call... I'll find... Thank you, Xavier, I guess?
Of course!
Xavier?
Don't mention it.
It's supposed to be Xavier, but whatever.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye,
Xavier! There's an R!
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for.
Time to go back and see Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you.
Unfortunately, alright.
Come on, you gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab something to eat? You can't go facing life's challenges on an empty stomach. Alright, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Please. Please, no more. Please, no more fetch quest. Like, I'm not talking about this Archon. That one's fine. Just fetch quest for every other quest. I just want to do the Archon quest. Please, no more.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Like, come on. I've already read like 2 essays worth.
Hey, it's them.
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
What's up? Oh, don't make me read the things again. I was kidding. Are you still talking about the essay?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us.
Don't, please don't make me read another.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
Please.
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
No. Perfect. These 2 have researched that Tatarasuna's past. Let's hear what they have to say.
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
Oh, no. The article that you let me read last time was great. I'm not going to pick the second option.
Oh, of course.
Bruh, no! Oh, no! Man, I'm going to have like a highlight reel of just this episode alone with just this mess of an episode. Here we go. Details. This text belongs to a series of works sponsored by the Vahumana's Veil Cutter Project. It is yet to be numbered. Author, Akoba. Abstract. The Tatarasuna area has always been a major pillar of Inazuma's smithing industry. 2 incidents have occurred here, and the details behind the first are vague at best. I believe, however, that there might be a hidden history behind the events that transpired. Hence, this paper will attempt to analyze what may have unfolded from the available data. Glossary. Tatarasuna area, Raiden Gokuden, Mikoshi Nagamasa. The paper continues and expands the work of my mentor, Mr. Rumi, in his report on happily hidden... I think that's misspelled, but okay. Happily hidden tales of Tatarasuna. It is intended to further this avenue of research. According to the data, the blade forging techniques of Inazuma were originally handed down from the Electro Archon, also known as the Raiden Shogun, using the... yeah, this is different. Using the art they inherited from their Archon, the people of Inazuma devoted themselves to the process of forging. However, strange rumors that do not quite fit the steely nature of metalwork yet linger about Tatarasuna's smelting center, which was a central pillar of the forging industry. There, the Mikoshi and Niwa clans, along with an eccentric mechanic from abroad, serve as the 3 windows of insight we need to investigate the truth of what happened. Body. Stranger from Tatarasuna area. Their contents are as follows. 1. Perhaps I overstep, but I think that Sir Nagamasa's mood grows better when... Okay. Session to cleanse the stain of Mikoshi Eden. Inspector brought... Okay, this some of these are the same. Inspector brought a certain number of jaded ingots or disgusting matter. We at last made a single Nagamasa. Nazuma was so taken by the beauty that he drew a picture. Inspectors flew into a fit of rage Katsuragi cast his own to the furnace's flame. Kana applied the order and drew the completely by the furnace. He was horribly burnt. And died at night. I dare say that while Sir Katsuragi may have committed it was over the goodness of heart. Kinjiro hid the Nagamaki and Nozumi's drawing in the dead. Nagamasa is harsh, but also knows right from wrong, but even so, he is not amenable to reason. His name indicates one obsessed with purity. Still, I and some households of Tatarasuna have not been bought by Nagamasa's mother, Chiyo. We trust him. I also remain unwilling to forget the day I created the Daya Tatara Nagamasa with him. Before we withdrew, we should have divided the arsenal key into 3 points. One for but we're too much in the expected in order to would. The 7 notes mentioned prior have been scattered across the Tatarasuna area. Among the 7 notes, 6 seem to be good physical terror. I believe the 6 notes and the last are of different time periods, though the gulfing years between them needs to be verified. The contents of the first... Bro, they highlighted what was different. Okay. Okay. A great many of these rumors revolved around the yokai, who are very characteristic of Inazuma's folk histories. A small portion, however, repeatedly mentions the word outsider. It should be known that the appearance of such a character who is suspected to be based on a real person is a very curious case. This fact drew the attention of the researchers to delve further, and eventually the following piece of information came to light. A foreign mechanic once visited Tatarasana. Reportedly, the reason for his immigration was to exchange knowledge and forge ties with the locals. However, the mechanic seemed to behave suspiciously, often wandering around essential or restricted areas, and if someone tried to turn them away, they would only earn incomprehensible mumbles from his lips. The mechanic often stared into the furnace, seemingly to check on its condition. Unsteadily, he also spent a substantial amount of time watching the local residents. Judging from the era, it was not uncommon to see cross-cultural exchanges of technical knowledge in places such as Tatarasana. After traveling across the tides, foreign experts being welcome in their region was likely not unreasonable either. Yet calamity came not long after this exchange of knowledge, which hints at high potential for causation between these events. However, some current residents believe that that these assumptions were merely the result of their forebears' overactive imaginations to theorize how things actually unfolded. Less of them. Okay, mechanic. Long have I delved through many texts and documents, but I was ultimately unable to decipher even a specter of a clue as to the background. Still, mentions of the mechanic grew scarcer in the aftermath of the Tatarasana incident. I speculate that instead of the mechanic possibly being a figure woven from overripe imaginations, he actually did exist, and perhaps even had a hand in the events that took place in Tatarasana.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
Okay, at least now we know that the things in yellow are different, so that's good. Miyazaki hid his grin. Upon hearing this, Niwa released the lizard from his hand into Katsuragi's palm. But just as more words were to be exchanged, someone came walking nearby, their footsteps steadily confident. The head that appeared by the door was that of one from abroad. The newcomer placed some lunch boxes to one side, nodded, and made to leave. Katsuragi called out after him, "Sir, what about your meal? Are you not hungry?" The man smiled upon hearing Katsuragi's words. "I already ate. I hope that you, my lords, may also find time to sate your hunger soon." "You are our guest, sir. To see you help in these trifling matters fills me with embarrassment," Niwa said with sincerity. The man smiled as if it was no matter. Then with a nod, he departed. Like a falling spear, the black cloud reached the bottom of the boat and was joined in its berthness of direction. Like a charging beast, they plunged into the shoreline. Scant steps away, the mechanic laughed, slowly approaching the grand wreck. Not but half an arm was left of the one who had cried out for help, and with a plop it landed at the mechanic's feet, who crouched to better study the subject, straining against the urge to take a bite. Yet he did not, for the dark cloud swirling down had already picked up the remnants of the ship clean. Then the second ship was sent, followed by a third and a fourth. Even who left to seek salvation did so under foul skies and bleak fortunes. Reason dictated that they should not have risked anyone else, but the situation in Tatarasana was very severe. They needed to gain aid from Inazuma, even should it cost them more lives. The content has changed. Another effect of tampering with the information in Irmisol. The Baldir said he'd erased 2 of his names. If he really succeeded, it must have taken all of his might. But still.
Well, what do you think?
A masterpiece!
Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma,
and you tell the 2 riders what you learned about the Raiden Gokiden and Tatarasana's history.
So many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Clearly. It's your So they tunnel vision. I actually forgot what the guy said. Man, I gotta go back to that balcony to actually hear him again to be what it is. You know what? In case I ever edit this, rewind. Okay, we back. We've got some things to take care of. Bye for now.
Oh,
and the guy's looking at the cart before the horse.
Prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Bye. Oh, I don't want to talk to him about
Right. I can finally move forward.
What a sad story. I don't know what I expected, but I guess I never would expect this. Alright, bye. The Kabu Kimonos finale. Bruh, this is, man. So, I mean, we know Scaramouche is alive. He's the Wanderer now.
Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then she decided she wanted to go to Inazuma.
I was investigating the situation with the Balladeer.
The Balladeer? This sounds like some kind of code name.
Bruh, oh no.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Even Nahida doesn't remember. Just like last time, any changes to Irminsul affect her as well. The Balladeer acted quickly. He finished erasing himself before Nahida could stop him. I'm the only one who still remembers the things that were erased. Once again, I am the record keeper.
Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
There are things that have happened that only I can remember. I have to tell you the truth. With a heavy heart, you piece back together the story that was broken and scattered across time. There once was one named the Balladeer, created by the Electro Archon. He was a puppet who lived among men. After a series of events in Tataratsuna, the Balladeer, thinking he had been thrice betrayed, left Inazuma to roam the world beyond. With no trust for humans and only loathing for the gods, he bore his grudge for years as he grew in strength, and returned to Inazuma to take his revenge. He tried in vain to become a deity with a gnosis, and ended up losing everything. Finally, he entered Irminsul and learned the truth behind his betrayal. Knowing now that his entire life was built on lies, he did the unthinkable in an attempt to reverse his tragic fate.
That's quite a story.
I don't believe it.
So, this puppet known
It's not
as
an
the
Irminsul. I
Balladeer
think you made it up.
erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it.
You know, I was gonna say, then what would happen to, like, the Sumeru storyline? Because it was based on Scaramouche. So what would happen? I guess they're just saying it was just a machine.
Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well, because he literally changed the world?
Wait, what if this is a hint of what exactly happened to your sibling? What if someone or they try to alter reality through Irminsul? Because it can be possible, because if you change in Irminsul, it's clear that no one will remember.
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about her in Irminsul. And it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect her. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
You could say that again.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
I'm really not sure. We were enemies after all. I don't know his perspective on all this, so I can't say why he did something so extreme. Did he want to reset everything? Or save someone? Or did he want to completely undo his existence? Everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all. Maybe that's all there is to it. I still remember the question he asked. He asked me, specifically, and my hesitation gave him his answer. I hesitated because I witnessed Greater Lord Rukkhadevata erase her own existence, but I can't tell Nahida that. To put it another way, I know why the Balladeer was so sure it could work, but I can't tell them that.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share?
I just feel empty. He chose such a radical option, and yet...
It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right?
Yes.
Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense. Every part of it. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Yeah. He changed the world in many ways, and yet the dead still didn't get a second chance. Those fated to a tragic end could not be saved. What exactly did he want to fight back against? Betrayals in his life? Or did he wish he'd never existed at all?
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one.
Oh?
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything she has told us.
Bruh!
What is it? A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
It's called logs.
Surprisingly, the information is presented to you in a way that resembles a fairy tale.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
This matches everything I said.
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You?
Oh, that was the thing she quickly did.
That somehow has something to do with the Balladeer?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabukimono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the Balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
Oh yeah, it's literally logs!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. The now erased life of the Balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night, and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree, who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender, and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us.
Like what Niwa said.
Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure.
Oh, I think the fox fur is Dodore and the kitten is Scaramouche.
The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon.
I like little kitten Scaramouche.
How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet.
That's just sad.
This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
I've never had this feeling before. Feels like life is as insignificant as a feather.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahida's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take her out for a walk to clear her head?
You got it.
I think Nahida's gonna try to find him.
Your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that, but Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
There's a few things I'd like to look into.
Okay, you should try to walk and unwind. Okay. But yeah, it's, yeah, I think she's gonna get him. Like, she's gonna, now that she remembers, thanks to those logs, she remembers now. So, she's gonna try to, find him now. Because now with the access to Irminsul, she could probably do that. That is not the door I went through, but okay.
We're here! What should we eat first?
I have a nagging feeling like there's something I'm missing. Something important that I'm forgetting.
Hey, are you gonna answer or what?
Sorry, it's just... Give me a minute. I'm still processing.
Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat.
Come on, brain. Let's dig this out. It's gotta be in there somewhere. It was something about Irminsul and deleting oneself. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, Bed of Knowledge, Nahida...
What is it? Have you figured it all out?
Yes, that was it. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. She said that no one can erase themselves from existence, not even her. Otherwise, why would she need to create her own reincarnation unless her Lord Kusanali to do the deletion for her? There would be no point.
Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
No, I can't tell Paimon. She doesn't know about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. This is crucially important detail. It's simply not possible for the Balladeer to completely erase his own existence. In which case, the question is, what happened to him?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Look at that new drip.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Who's that guy? You know him or something?
That guy is the Balladeer.
He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
Aww.
You're welcome, I guess.
He wants to fit in.
I got bigger things to worry about.
Look, we're all out of Sunsetias, and I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return eventually. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsetias, was it? I'll be right back.
Hey, what do we do now?
Let's follow him.
Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Why? But why? Why do we have to stay out of sight? I don't think we need to.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Isn't that a bit too cruel?
Shush.
Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back.
I wasn't seeing this with my own eyes. I would never believe it.
Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice.
You're right. We were following you.
Have we met before?
He recognized us.
No, we haven't met. But you know me?
Yes.
I have no recollection.
It's complicated, but I do know you.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
I can prove it. You're a puppet.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important.
There's somewhere I want to take you.
Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
All right.
Then let's return to the city.
Man. I'm gonna wait until he cause like he held his head and everything, so and he did say, have we met before? So I think he does have like a familiar feeling, like you're familiar to him, but he can't pinpoint because he said he has no recollection.
I'll leave them right here.
Which makes sense.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry?
He doesn't understand.
But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
But I don't... No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you.
I think that before, he was like, he doesn't have anywhere
All
to
right,
go.
done. Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
And it's funny that he's Animo now. He used to be Electro, but now he's Animo. Man. And watch, I go here and like, oh, by the way, this is not available because so-and-so needs to be done. It's like, bruh. Bruh. Bruh.
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
You tell Lesser Lord Kusanali what happened in the Grand Bazaar.
You say that you are trekking across to Vat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain.
That's what I said,
Using
Nahida.
terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation?
Who's gonna tell him?
Oh, okay. I see. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation.
We're just trying to think where to start.
If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear, but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Aww.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
Nahida tells the Wanderer about his past.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
Aww.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
Hoyoverse, don't make me want to pull for this character, please. Please don't. Please. Please.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
We were each other's enemies.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street!
Well, Paimon, you don't have memories of him. You don't count.
He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything. What a weird situation.
Wait, why are you, like, adamantly upset about it? Honestly, you could look at me and be like, are you sure this guy was our enemy for how polite he's feeling? Because I don't think you have your memories. It's literally just me and Nihida who do.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Okay.
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
No matter what lies ahead, I'll face it. Whatever it takes. I'm just sorry that you have to join me for the whole thing.
Am I gonna have to put you on the hug list? Bruh.
It's time to get ready.
Okay. Oh! Okay, it's a fight. Alright. Let's go. So. This is really sad.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
And now we're just finishing the job.
Alright. Thanks.
Even though, at this point, there's no reason to hate on him anymore. Come on. This is a new person.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Huh. Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Don't know. Treasure chest.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like being a little slow because I want to hear all the story. I don't want to get it cut off by accident. That thing dropped behind me and I couldn't tell.
What are we doing back here?
I hear voices.
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Oh, this was the bird.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him.
What? Wait, hold up. What? Wait, his father died before he can name him. But this kid has memory of his father being like, he was coughing. How old is this kid? Has he retained memory? Hello?
After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him.
Somehow.
They made a promise to live together.
The neighbors just called him Kid.
What happened to the child then?
He died.
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too.
Man, I was stupid. A kid dying, like it's his fault. Jeez. I'm an idiot.
The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
Like, I don't know. I could just imagine him being like, man, I was so stupid. What is this? Like, I had to... What? I got so upset from a child dying? Like, what? Why would I be?
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
The long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
That's the Chester? Oh, it's this place.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered the Balladeer here.
The first time.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar.
I remember this. It was an unsettling place.
Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the Doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Rah!
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly move back before we go to the other memory, because again, want to see all the dialogue.
Looks like we have arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As
Hey, look,
such,
it's the
I
guy
too
that
would
everyone wants to
recommend that
push
we
off.
commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the Abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
He's the doctor. He's behind all this.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
Let's hit him.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass.
Are you saying...
Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self.
Is this the true meaning of Greater Lord Rukkhadevada's words? A person can't erase themselves, even though the original balladeer has gone. This person will live on in his place. Are a person's sins an inescapable part of their destiny too?
I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself.
I mean, like, okay, in my opinion, if your sins are erased through reality, and like it never happened, then could you say that those sins even existed in the first place? I mean, yeah, if you did something bad in like your quote-unquote previous incarnation, but they don't exist now, and it's like your previous incarnation didn't exist, then why would you take on the sins of that new... I mean, yes, he's trying to basically get a reason for his existence. That's what he's doing right now. At least that's what I'm thinking. But like, I don't know, sins and everything, it's just... It's complicated, but I don't think you should be... And like, of current incarnation, I don't think you should be punished for it. I mean, yeah, sure, you quote-unquote take responsibility, but like, in a way he did. He changed the course of history to where he didn't get betrayed or anything. He didn't do anything wrong. So in a way, I guess he fixed it. He did fix it. I mean, yes, the fate was sad that he wasn't able to save Niwata, but at least compared to before, the mechanic was now mentioned in the stories, and when it wasn't before. So like, I think he did, in my eyes, he did pay back, because he erased it all. So, I don't know.
So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Bam.
Set him free?
A puppet? What's he doing here?
That's different.
You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
Oh, look, we're fighting this again.
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Oh, let's go. Oh, there's his vision.
Die.
Oh, okay.
This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
Have you got any more stupid questions? Squall Fury. At my command, you shall fall. Search for it. How amusing.
So yeah, this is Wander. You literally just spam the E button.
Behold. Bow your head.
Done.
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
I don't even know if this is a victory, because it depends on how he's gonna act.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am.
Now you've recovered your memories, the past will catch up with you.
You sound like you're concerned about me.
But like, what past? The past is erased! Like, it's gone! Like, what past does he have to atone? Everyone he supposedly killed are no longer killed. Cause his past reincarnation never existed in the line that he was a Fatui Harbinger. So any person that he took the life from is still alive. He technically took an action that erased his sins. Literally erased his sins. I think he's forgiven.
But don't
in
worry.
my opinion.
Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, At least I now know the truth.
What do you mean? Okay. He didn't change a thing for the thing he was trying to do, yes. But everything else did change.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Oh, okay. It just popped away. Okay. Wait, I don't get like a treasure chest? I don't get a chest? Wow. Okay then. Okay then. This is rigged. What a rigged domain.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it.
You won't go by the Balladeer anymore?
After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the 6th is.
And they probably changed it, or the order. Like, this is a big question mark, because technically, Scaramouche does not exist.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
Let's call it a tactical retreat.
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
That and the— oh my gosh, I'm done. I don't want to say anything anymore. My point's been made. Nahida, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Of course.
What? Wait, like— Hoyoverse, I'm confused on this plot point. I am very confused because, like, what you have here is Scaramouche going to Irminsul, erasing— not erasing his own existence, fine, but he goes back to a point where he changed history. And it may seem like, oh, it's an insignificant change, but it means a lot. Not a lot. He said it himself, not a lot of people remember him. Well, of course they don't remember him because the events never occurred. In this timeline, because this is timelines now. This is literally time travel. You literally took a point where he probably went back to be like, okay, I'm changing this point in time. Because he was hoping that he would at least save Niwa from the furnace. Because a swordsman was there. We don't know what the swordsman is. I think it was him, though. I think it was him. Well, no, I don't think it can be because he probably doesn't remember anything at that point. So it was probably just another person that— no, wait, no, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because, okay, he was discarded as a puppet still. He was discarded. It was taken in by the family. That points are true. And it goes up to that where, the point where the mechanic and Niwa were conversing, I guess, or maybe even before that, somewhere around there, is where maybe the past Scaramouche went back and maybe like told him like, hey, this is happening. You gotta go to Niwa now. And he did. And he probably saved him from the mechanic, got them both to the furnace. They both didn't make it out alive. They're both dead. So because of that point, the betrayal of Niwa didn't happen to Scaramouche. Only the betrayal that happened was when the Raiden Shogun discarded him. That was it. That was the only betrayal he had. I don't know, but if the kid still applies, because according to the known events, it shouldn't have happened. Because there is no reason for why Scaramouche wouldn't have left. But maybe, like as he said, he's been wandering for as long as he could remember. So, he was never a Fatui Harbinger. He was never getting by the doctor, and he was never part of Sumeru's God experiment. Ergo, he has not really killed anyone in this life now. This is a different timeline. In this timeline that we are now in, he has not killed anyone. He has not ruined anybody's lives. He has literally just been wandering. That is it. So, he essentially erased this, and anyone who died by his hand is no longer dead. Unless this game is gonna tell me, oh, but that's not how it works. Technically, the Scaramouche was still existent, but just no one remembers him. Alright, but he has been... Okay, let's see.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish.
Greater Lord Rukadevada would like to introduce herself.
What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
What you were looking for is complete annihilation. The world will not heed your will, but it did.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
What do you mean so little? He literally erased his sin.
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali. You purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it.
Nahida doesn't see you in that way.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well.
Thank you. Let's hope you can find some answers.
I will try.
Traveler.
Yes?
After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma?
Because I wanted to know what you changed.
So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back.
I didn't do all of this for a reward. Please don't make it sound like I'm extorting you.
Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero.
I mean, it can. It's called different timelines.
I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books.
Also, Nahida, salt water can leave salt.
Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world.
I mean, Nahida, timelines!
Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole.
I think it's either that I am wrong about my understanding of what exactly happened, and I need someone to explain it to me, or Hoyoverse just did this point wrong. I want to believe it's the first point, but this is such a glaring hole.
To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on.
I mean, he changed
and
it.
The longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Nahida. But he did change the past. Because in the original past, Niwa didn't go to the furnace at all. But in this past, he did. So it's not set in stone thanks to Irminsul.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
I hope you could give Nahida a chance.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too.
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Come on! There's no reason not to like him now. Like, you don't remember what he did. I mean, yes, now we went through the memories, so I guess so. But technically, his interaction with us, you technically don't remember. We only saw his past, not exactly what he did to us. Like...
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
Huh? You want us to decide?
No! Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything?
Name change rules! You can obtain the item and Appeal of Stroke from the Archon Quest interlude, which will allow you to change his name. Please take note that some names cannot be utilized in this change. Once you've renamed this character, some interfaces in the game folder will display the name you have chosen. There's a limit on the number of times you can rename this character, so do so with care. Please ensure that you follow our terms. I saw that glitch in the game. Okay. I mean, we could keep it as Wanderer, but... Alright, let's name it Dot. His name is now literally Dot. But no, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get this far. Okay, I'll be honest. I knew we were gonna name him thanks to thumbnails, but like, I don't know what to name him. I mean, you could be funny and make it like like Balladeer. That's how you spell it.
I have no need for these names anymore.
Oh, let me give it more thought. Okay.
Have you...
Let me give it more thought. Okay. Wanderer. Wanderer. Okay. Okay, so knew him. He had a terrible life. I mean, Skara? Like, if we're ever gonna forever remember him as Scaramouche, then Skara, I guess? Then again, if we want to, like, completely go away from him, maybe we could name him Eon? Man, I don't know. I don't think anyone's in chat, because chat's been silent today. Which is okay. Wait, disclaimers for name modification. You get it. You can attain it from the Archon Interlude and Version Chest, which will allow you to change Eon's Adrift Wanderer name. Yeah, Wanderer. Please take note that some names cannot be utilized in this game. Once you have renamed this character, some interface will be. There's a limit of times you could rename this character. So if I don't like it at first, I can always change it. There's actually like 2 that I'm thinking of. 3, to be honest. It's either Eon, Aliros. Actually, just those. The other one isn't like great. Eon. Like, if you think about it, this one came through across the eons, so. Nah, not eon. Wait, eon means like 100 years? 10? 50? Wait, what's century? Century is 100 years. Eon is 50. It hasn't really been 50 years. I don't know. I don't know, chat. A. Just A. Aliros, Eon, Rios, Eon Rios, Eternatus, Steve. Wait, a pet named a pet named Seth. Elrion? Hold on. Elrion. Elrion. Okay, Elrion.
Are you sure?
No. Yes, I think this will
Oh,
do.
All right, if you say so.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Oh, it stays. Wait, did I spell Illyrion right? Hold up. That would be so sad if I just didn't spell it right. Wait, Okay. I may have named him ahead of a cold or something. Okay. I did not know. Rip, I will change it later on.
Still thinking. Stop rushing me.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one.
What do you plan to do next?
Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
But, okay, to be fair, they no longer did that.
You mean the Fatui?
I mean, sure, we could get rid of the Fatui, that's fine.
At least.
I mean, he's done a lot of terrible things, so, you know, it's
Now
justifiable
that your
still.
stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall.
Did that change?
Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
But it's been erased. It's gone. It's done. There's no need to...
That is up to you.
There's no truth in it. In fact, you would actually be telling them a lie.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been.
No.
What's that look for? Don't make that face. I know what I'm doing. That day will come. Alright. We're done here. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore.
There were some bumps along the way, but it's all over now.
So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
Is that it? And then the game crashes.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
Oh. Resting place. Okay.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because, like, timelines.
It's about time we had a break.
Timelines.
As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back.
Rest up, Paimon. I'll buy some delicious dessert treats as a reward. No, I'm just gonna say rest up.
Great! Huh? Look at the vase.
What about it?
Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
That night we stayed here, Paimon bumped into the table after being startled by something to do with the battle deer and broke the vase. But the balladeer erased his existence. He changed the world. So why is this vase still broken?
You sound lost and confused.
Is this the Fontaine Archon? Who's that?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Is the Fontaine Archon?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance. But for anyone else, who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
Are you literally saying that, oh, yeah, while the timeline happened, like, all the events will still correspond with the first timeline because it's funny?
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what
I think that's the Hydro Archon. Believe my eyes? Does she mean I should trust my memories?
Anyway, that face is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up? It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
I wonder what else awaits me in the future. Ah, finally. The brush with which you may bestow a new name upon a certain person. Once the new name has been given, it cannot be changed. Well, I guess I could just leave it. I mean, there is a note, like, someone did, I guess, name Scaramouche. It wasn't anything bad. It was just, it was something I think related to copyright. So they kind of, the Hoyoverse sent a mail being like, hey, this name is not good within, I guess, our terms and services or whatever, even though it's fine, but regardless, they're like, so yeah, make sure to change it, but if you do it again, you're banned. So that's a bit of a problem because it's not specific on why and everything, but yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, so this was going on longer than I thought, probably definitely because of the other distractions and everything. But yeah, other than that big mess of a plot hole, in my opinion, it is a plot hole. I'm sorry, because like I think I get what that ending was supposed to sort of be for people like, oh, well, it's another timeline, but like the answer was that, well, the vase is still broken. I mean, I guess like in a way, like the reason behind it, like there's gonna be certain points where it's like the results are going to be the same. It's just the ending will be different, because I guess that's true with Sumeru's case, that they did still fought the machine. It's just that no one was in it. It was just a machine. So it really depends. Anyway, though, thank you all so much for stopping by.
I wish I was sitting at the top of a tree.
Next stream will be
cider in hand.
Maybe tomorrow. Big maybe, but I'll definitely be attending a stream, I think on Monday, with Meganaut, so you guys should check him out. Both for that stream and like for more content that he makes. He's a funny guy. Y'all should sub and everything to him. So it's either that or tomorrow at 7 PM. Don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out if I so decide to. So until the next stream or video, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye!